So, Jonathan, do you remember your home phone number?
I do.
You do. What was it?
719-267-4484.
Yeah.
I when I say that, it feels like a commercial or something. Like it's that familiar to me. It's like, was that in a song? Is that? But no, that was my
Yeah. Do you remember like your best friend's phone number growing up?
719-267. 3826.
Yeah. Doesn't it make you like feel nostalgic just when you say it?
Yeah.
Takes you back to being 12.
It's crazy. You know, I grew up with a party line. You know
What's a party line?
So
this is another reference.
Yes.
I don't know.
I lived on lane 12.5. First of all, okay.
Wait, you lived on lane
12.5.
There's no halves. So there's no half a lane.
It was. I lived in such a rural community that they
Yeah.
could make the lanes a mile apart, and then a few more people moved in, so then they had to make lanes half a mile apart. So they had lane 11 and 12, and then like 3 people moved on to lane 12.5.
I just feel like that's just lazy.
It's so
right. There's
it's
no
lazy.
creativity behind that.
No. So there were 3 of us that lived there: Lauren and Polly Seiferth, our house, and then I can't remember the people that lived on the end. But so what a party line was when the phone would ring, it would ring in all 3 of our houses. And you would pick it up and you'd be, and each of us were supposed to have a separate ring. Like it would be like bling, bling for us or bling, bling for somebody else. But if you were on the phone, the other people that lived in other houses could pick up the phone and listen. And I remember so many times I'd want to call like my girlfriend or something like that. And I'd pick up the phone and Polly would be like, Jonathan, hang the phone up. Because she knew immediately it was me. Jonathan, hang the phone up.
Man.
And I'd be like, well, when are you going to get off? And she's sitting there talking to somebody else and we're having this whole conversation. So yeah, that's how
Doesn't sound like a party.
No, it doesn't even sound like it. Like
Party's
it doesn't
supposed to be
sound
fun. That
real,
sounds miserable.
Right? It feels like I grew up on Mayberry or something. When you think about it, I'm just like, I cannot believe.
Well,
this was the '90s.
This was the '90s, and like you hit 2 things out of the park. Number one, the half a lane.
Yes,
that is fantastic.
Yeah,
okay,
12.5.
and then the party line.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. Do you remember your phone number growing up?
523-3905. I remember it. I
So you
remember
didn't
my
even
mom's work number, coughing to call my mom's work number. I remember that number. I remember my best friend's phone number.
So this was, you just gave me your phone number without the 954.
Yeah.
So like you remember, because I do too. I remember when I never had, when we only had to dial 4484.
Yeah.
And then they were like, now you have to dial 267-44. And I was like, this is dumb. Why do I have to dial 267?
Yeah.
And then it became where you had to dial the whole 719-267-4484.
So here's a question. What happened to our phone numbers? Like right now, where is that phone number?
Should I call it?
Yeah, you call yours right now. Call it right now.
The only problem is it's 7:20 in the morning in Colorado.
Okay, do you want me to call mine?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call mine. This is like knocking on the door of your old house.
Yeah.
I've never done this before. Here we go. 223-3905. Let's see here. I'm gonna put on speaker.
This is very interesting.
It went
dead.
It went dead. It went dead.
Dun, dun, dun.
It went dead. So that phone number's toast.
Yeah.
How about that, huh?
That is interesting. So is there like a collection?
I don't know. Where is it? It's like it's just dead.
Was the phone company when you were growing up like the local one, like Mountain? Well, we had Mountain Bell. Obviously, you wouldn't have Mountain Bell. You might have like.
What was it called? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
I wonder if like when that company crumbled, if they just took all the numbers with them. They're like, we're taking all these numbers off the board.
But where'd they put them?
I don't know. Can
How
you
does
delete a
something
number?
that existed no longer exist? It's not like
maybe
did
once
the number go out of business.
Maybe once it's printed in the phone book, and then they no more phone books.
I feel like there should
used
be
up.
a Pixar movie about phone numbers.
Yeah,
you know they've done.
That is actually a really good idea. Yeah.
Right? It's like, what happened to my phone number?
Yeah.
You know, my childhood phone number. It's dead. I just tried to tap into nostalgia and got rejected.
You know, my daughter, like, is it called anamorphing when you give like when you give life to something that doesn't have, that's inanimate?
Yeah, I don't know.
Animating something inanimate. So
yeah, I forget the word.
My daughter, I think it was her freshman year of high school, she went to get a new phone. Like her phone was used up, and so we were going to get a new phone. And so we get to Sprint, and it was an iPhone, and she was getting really sad. And she's like, it's been with me through so much, Dad. Like, I have so many memories with this phone and all this kind of stuff. And so when they went to switch it, I don't know if you've done that where it makes that like little dust cloud that's just floating on the screen of your old phone, and your
correct.
new phone takes the picture of it.
Correct. Yep.
And I was like, it's sucking its soul. Boom! Tears just started pouring
She cried?
out of. Yes, she started crying, and then we bought a new case, and she felt so horrible for her old phone that this new phone was getting the new case, and like it was so personal and real, like a journal, because it had been through her with making friends and all these different things, and she had so personalized it, and so I think Pixar could pick up on that.
I think we should do a whole episode pitching a Pixar movie about old phone numbers.
Oh, I agree with you.
Because they do. Like when you said your old phone number,
Yeah.
something happened inside of you.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I
And
know.
it happened with me too.
Yeah.
It took me back to being 12.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So you've got an idea around phone numbers, maybe even to tap into this nostalgia a little bit. We'll
Yeah.
see where this idea goes. But set us up with this business idea. Start with the problem,
Okay.
and then let's talk about the solution. What's the problem you're trying to solve?
So my daughter, when she moved to Manhattan, she wanted to get a New York phone number.
Okay.
And so she goes in to get her New York phone number, and they were pitching her all of these 646 numbers and things like that. And she was like, I don't want a 646 number. And I'm sitting there thinking, who cares? Like,
Sure.
who cares? And she's like, no, I want either a 212 or a 917. And I was like, why? And she was like, because those are original Manhattan numbers. And like, it looks like you're from New York if you have a 212 or a 917. And so we were going on and on with this guy, and he just kept like hitting refresh. And finally a 917 number popped up, and she's like, I want it. And she took that 917 number.
Yeah.
And I remember, do you remember that episode of Seinfeld when Elaine moves to a new apartment, but she has to get a new number, and it's I think then it's a 646 number.
Okay,
is what she gets.
yeah.
And she's really discouraged about it, but she meets this guy, and they go to exchange numbers, and he's like, do I have 646? Where's that? And she's like, it's new. I'm still living in Manhattan.
It's a disappointment.
And he goes, do I have to dial a 1 to call you? And she was like, yeah. And he just kind of, okay. And then as soon as she left, he threw her number in the trash, because it was like such a separation.
Such a letdown.
I just feel like we live in a day and an age when I can pick so many things, like everything I can choose for myself. I should be able to pick my phone number.
Oh, yeah.
I should be able to buy my old phone number, 719-267-4484, if I want to. There should be a service like GoDaddy where I can get I pick my phone number, I register it, I pay for it, and then I have that number no matter where I live, no matter when I move. That's my phone number till I die, and maybe I pass it on to one of my kids or anything like that. But I don't understand why we don't have that availability.
So it's like a vanity plate,
It's like a vanity plate,
right?
Yes.
Because what would your vanity plate be, by the way?
License plate? What
would it be?
Probably cluck out or something to do with chicken
With chicken
and
cone
being done. Yeah.
But that's what this is like.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the problem. The solution. It's GoDaddy for a phone number.
It's GoDaddy for a phone number.
GoDaddy for a phone number. Okay. My gut reaction. Why not?
Yeah.
Like that's my reaction. It's not something I thought I needed, but then when you started unpacking it, I'm thinking, you know what? You know how good it would make me feel to have 523-3905, my childhood phone number.
Yeah. And it's dead. It's just laying around.
It's just dead.
Yeah.
And I would buy that.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my gut reaction. It's a pretty. Where did you come up with this, by the way? Was it your daughter?
Yeah, it was
in
that
New
day
York?
with her sitting there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be like, I wonder if we could get on Craigslist and find somebody that would sell us their phone number. I wasn't really going to pay for her to have her phone number, but just started wondering that, and that sent me down this path of thinking, why isn't there a registry for phone numbers?
So let's keep taking it through the idea exploder. Gut reaction. Sure, why not?
Sure, why
It's
not?
positive. It's positive.
Yeah, it's not it's not like this. Like that is the greatest idea I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's not the air conditioner.
No. but it is like, surely that exists, right?
Yeah.
Why aren't we able to do that right now?
I don't even think I have buts. I've got questions like, for instance, how do you get past the area codes? area code centric
So-
phone numbers? Because your idea is this is a number that can follow you,
Correct.
that is a good idea
Mm-hmm.
because there's nothing more depressing than moving to a new city and like 2 years later you still have your old city's
Mm-hmm.
area code,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it kind of communicates I'm not invested in this place yet. You know, because
Yes.
you're not really invested. By the way, do
So-
you have a 954 number yet?
No, I do not.
You don't, right?
I don't even have.
And like I'm judging you
I
right
lived in
now.
I lived in Pennsylvania for 9 years.
Yeah.
I don't have a PA number either.
Yeah,
I lived in Mexico for 3 years.
yeah.
And I got my cell phone was the South Texas number 956, which is like Brownsville, Harlingen,
Okay.
as south in Texas as you could get because I was as close to Mexico as I could get an American phone number. I've had that phone number for 20 something years.
So I'm judging you. I just want you to know that.
I
because you-
I could hear your
'cause
judgment
you
coming
have-
across.
Yeah, but you need to absorb it. Don't be defensive. Just absorb it for a second,
Yeah.
okay? You've been here for how long? 2 years?
Yeah.
In South Florida? Like I look at you and I go, he's not invested yet. This isn't your home yet. You know, you're not embracing all of South Florida yet until you have a 954. When you get a 954, I'm going to go,
He's here.
man, like Jonathan might be a friend for life.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's still very utilitarian
Right.
in my mind.
Right.
This friendship is very
It could be
fragile.
gone in a night.
It is so fragile right now. And I don't know if I have to be a better friend to get you to get a 954. Like I don't know what I need to do.
Yeah,
But I feel very, very fragile, very, very vulnerable right now.
If
You're not invested in the city.
so,
Sit in that.
I-
How's it feel?
I feel judged. I feel attacked. But this would change that perspective. You wouldn't
Yes.
be able to have that mindset anymore.
I
because-
wouldn't. You would sidestep it. You could still. I could still be very vulnerable and very fragile with you. I just wouldn't know it
Right.
because you would have a legitimate phone number that wouldn't be distracting. Your phone number now is distracting.
Yeah. Well, you should see when I go in places because the first 3 digits are 956 and South Florida's first 3 digits are 954.
Yeah.
Anytime I go in somewhere and they ask for your phone number,
Double take.
Usually they just go, and then I stop them and I say, wait, did you just type in 954? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, but I said 956. And then
Yeah.
they're like, 956?
Yeah.
Is that a new phone number? And I was like, no, it's
Yeah.
not.
That was very
So,
judgmental the way you did that to them too.
yes. Well,
Just say because I said 956.
Yeah, I know, but I just can tell they're not listening. You know, I think
Yeah.
that might be the most frustrating thing in the world. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care if you get it wrong if you're listening to me, but if you're just making an assumption that I have a 954 number,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I said the words 956.
Yeah, and I'm
intentionally.
and I'm the judgmental one. Continue.
And
Continue.
sometimes they'll say, "You just said 956," and I'll be like, "Yeah, that's because that's my number."
But listen, I like the idea because of that reason alone. Like
Yeah.
going to a new city, not because you don't want to have to go through the rigmarole.
Oh, the rigmarole.
How would you even do it?
I guess
Right? You gotta go down to AT&T or Sprint. You know, you gotta ask them for a new number, which means now you gotta tell everybody that had your number
Yes.
you got a new number, and then you tell them there's a timeline. You know, like
Right.
this new number is gonna launch in a week. I'm gonna give you a week to switch over my phone number. It's just a mess.
it's a mess.
It's an absolute mess.
Yeah, the whole thing, and anytime you go to a cell phone, I don't understand why when I walk inside T-Mobile and I want to switch my phone, it takes like 2.5 hours to get that transaction switched, and then I still feel like, oh, they're having to call some guy to switch to activate my new number and all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff, or I can just order a box at home, take a picture of the little soul dust,
Yeah.
and it's done, and push a button and say activate, and it's activated. Why is it so hard inside T-Mobile?
So, are you upending the whole notion of area codes? Are you saying,
Yeah, I
let's
don't.
get
Why
rid
is
of
there area
codes?
codes? Why does that exist?
There you go. That's really what this is about.
Why is there such
You're
a
upset
thing?
about area codes.
But I just don't
I am
understand.
too.
I just don't understand. And it also makes me mad because I get so many different salespeople calling me about business stuff. You know, like, oh, we've got this 30-day loan or all these different kinds of things. And I'll get phone calls all the time from 954 numbers, but they're in Indianapolis.
Yeah, me too.
So
Me too.
I think let's do away. Who cares about the area codes?
I don't care
Doesn't
about area
matter.
codes.
Doesn't matter. We just want you to be able to pick your phone number. What was the phone number in that song?
Tommy Two Tone,
Yeah.
867-5309.
Yeah. How much do you think that number would be worth?
Man. I mean, I'd be real bullish on 8675309.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be.
What if
That'd
you
be incredible if you had it.
What if you called that number and Stacy's mom picked it up?
That's
this is Stacy
That's
mom.
a different one, right? But that would be like the Brady Bunch house, which keeps getting like sold by like famous people are buying the Brady. I think it just traded again. The original Brady Bunch house in California.
Really?
Yeah. Like every couple years it comes up. I see it in the news. The Brady Bunch house is for sale. That's what 8675309 would be.
Right.
Every few years, you can buy somebody's. That's where this idea goes too. If you have a really desirable phone number,
right,
I could buy it from you.
Yeah.
How about this? I just bought Brad Pitt's phone number.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
He could resell. He could just get a free one, have it for a little bit, and resell it.
That's great. And because all these celebrities are going to call it, you know, thinking
it's Brad Pitt's number.
But
it's
gonna be Brad Schmidt, not Brad Pitt.
That's funny.
So I
bet you'd
like
get a bunch
that.
of nudes sent to you too on that phone.
You think that's what's happening in Brad Pitt's life?
I think so. Yeah. Do you think it would be crazier if you called? What is it again? 8675309.
8675309.
Would it be more exciting for you if Jesse's girl answered the phone or Stacy's mom?
Jesse's girl. Well, Jesse's girl is a superior song.
Yeah.
I mean, not even close.
Okay.
Not even. You agree?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I feel like you don't agree. I feel like
I mean, they could be the same. They might be the same person. Jesse's girl might be Stacy's mom.
That's true. They could be in the same universe.
Yeah.
The same metaverse.
Yeah.
So, good idea. The more I think about it, the more I like it, actually.
Yeah.
You know, like.
So, I guess one of my buts about it would be, so now we have to start paying for our phone numbers? But
is this an opt-in thing though?
That's what I think.
This is an opt-in. Like you can have your dumb area code phone number, your lame area code phone number.
You can get your lame phone number, for free.
Correct.
Or you can purchase.
I think that's the
from
way
our
to do
registry.
It's a vanity plate.
Yeah.
If you want the free, plate that comes with, through the DMV, go for it. But if you want to get, Chicken Cone CEO or whatever would be on yours, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. I think it's the only way to make it work. But the but is like if this is a business, how do you topple area codes?
I don't know, but I think it would be something. Well, I think area codes are already starting to get toppled. Like I just told you, I've lived in Colorado, Pennsylvania, and South Florida with my 956 area code. I've never had to.
Yeah.
If I can go into T-Mobile here and do stuff, and I've never had to change it.
Yeah, but you can't go into T-Mobile right now, and maybe this is the idea is you want to be able to do this. You can't go into T-Mobile right now and pick your phone number.
So no, but what I think this service would do would be different. You would still go into T-Mobile, just get their generic number, but I would go in and I would register mine online. This is a separate company, because there's GoDaddy, and then there's other ones too where you can go in and you can register your URL. You don't have to use GoDaddy. There's a whole bunch of them. So we would create a business where you can go in, this phone number, you purchase this phone number from us, it's registered to you, it's yours, and then so it doesn't even matter when you go into T-Mobile because you have.
Is it more like a ghost? Is it a ghost number?
No, it's a real thing. It's not like Google numbers or anything like that.
Yeah, so talk with Google Voice, you mean?
Google Voice, yeah.
So how is this different than Google Voice? Because I can go on Google right now. I haven't done this, but I'm assuming
I think they closed Google Voice, shut it down, but I'm not positive on that.
But how is this different than what it was offering? A digital phone number?
Because Google Voice was a voice over IP number that somebody called it. It was like a totally different number that then routed. It was like forwarding to your phone.
Okay.
Because it would say, "Please hold while we try to reach Jonathan Almanzar," and then they would tell you, "Please let me hear your name," and so you would say your name, Brad, and then I would get the call, and it would say, Brad is calling, and then I would choose if I wanted to answer or not. This is your phone number. This is like you would register it. It would be your phone number. It would belong to your phone from then on. So you don't have to do it at T-Mobile or Sprint or anything like that. You just register it through our service.
Okay. I think if there's a lot of hurdles with that, I do wonder if the ghost line number would work, where your actual registered phone number is the area code one, but you can purchase a ghost number that people can dial.
Yeah.
And it's like forwarding, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like forwarding.
Yeah.
It's like you have a website, but then you've got another name for a website.
Yeah.
Especially if I think of, a web address that people might mistake. You might buy the mistake
Right.
one as well. So if people go to it, it forwards to the real one. Something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder a ghost line could work as
could.
well. But so we've talked about our yeah buts. I don't know if I have any more.
No, not me really either.
So let's talk about the business, the financial model. So bake it out for me.
I think you would just register it just like you do with a web address.
Okay.
$1.99 a month, pay for the whole year, $2.99 a month, whatever makes sense. You wouldn't want it to be too crazy. And then I think that there would be a place just how GoDaddy allows where you could sell numbers. Like I might have like a really valuable phone number and I could I can't think of what would be really valuable in this moment. But like Cowboys. What if my number was I had a phone number that was like 1-800-Cowboys is what I owned. That would be a valuable number. I could sell it to the Dallas Cowboys or whoever. There's that opportunity then for me to have a secondary market where you can resell better numbers.
Are they 10? Is it a 10-digit number? Is it a 7-digit number?
I think it is the 10-digit number.
It's a 10-digit number, so you could essentially come up with words.
Yeah.
10-letter words.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We didn't think about that. I mean, that truly is the beauty of a vanity phone number. It's not just numerics. It's letters.
Yep. Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is Almanzar? How many letters is Almanzar?
8, I think.
8.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, that was quick.
Okay, but like to have like your last name be your phone number.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
For sure.
So, what's the name of this?
I haven't really come up with the name. I was thinking of different things like dial up, RingR, pound. Just things that belong to the
pound
to the phone number pad.
It's like GoDaddy. I don't know if I have anything better than that though. RingR.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah. I like it. I think RingR's it. I don't think I have anything better than RingR. So have we exhausted all the categories?
So we've talked about names.
We talked about names
briefly.
Yeah.
We talked about yeah buts, gut reaction, monetization. Like we made that pretty simple. What do you think? How much would you be willing to pay? Would you be willing to pay more than $1.99 a month? Would you pay $3.99 a month?
I think it's under $5 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for paying $50 or $60 a year to have your last name be your phone number, or have your favorite sports team be your phone number.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me because I think it would start getting a lot easier in conversation to give your information. The reason why you have to hand out a business card, we've talked about kind of how archaic business cards are. I know there are a number of companies that have digitized them, and that's been great. But part of the reason why that even exists is because you're never going to remember my email address. You're never going to remember my phone number. But if I were to tell you my phone number is Almanzar.
Mr. Almanzar.
Mr. Almanzar. That's it.
Yeah.
Mr. Almanzar.
Yeah.
Then
I
it
can remember
just
that.
cuts all the friction out of the connection.
Yeah.
You remember it. I don't got to fumble around looking for it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good use of it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I don't think I have any other buts. It's pretty simple. I pay $50-$60 a year for it.
Okay.
So all right, hit me with
a rating scale.
A rating scale. What do you got?
So between a phone book and before we go on, isn't like my daughter and I were talking in the car because she's home visiting, and we were talking about phone books. Like she was like, "What was the purpose of a phone book?" And I was like, "Because you got listed in the phone." Do you remember getting listed in a phone book?
I have never been listed personally in a phone book. My parents were.
So were phone books like kind of done away with by the time you were on your own? Okay.
Yeah, when I got my first because you get it when you get your first a residence.
First line, landline.
Right,
yeah,
a landline, you need a residence.
I remember being excited about it. And just thinking about it though, like you couldn't even take a picture with your phone to send to somebody like, "Look, I'm in the phone book." You just have to be like, "Hey, back home I'm in the phone book." You know, But how bizarre is it? And what if you got somewhere like right after the phone books had been printed And so then it's a whole entire year. Like if you opened a business right after the phone books went out, you'd have to wait an entire year
Yeah.
to get put inside of a phone book again.
Yeah.
You could be out of business by then.
I don't know how we survived. I really don't know how
It was-
society functioned
Right.
on the foundation of a phone book. You're right. It's a big
It
problem.
was crazy. And to deliver all of those giant phone book things, and I remember
Where
our
are they now?
landfills, I guess. I don't know.
They're with 5233905.
Yeah,
That's where they are.
they're at. And so I remember we came up with the conversation because she was like, why are these stupid businesses called A1? And I was like, it's
Yeah.
because of the phone book. They wanted
Correct.
to be listed first in the phone book. So anyway, the rating scale would be between trying to find a business in a phone book or now with Google.
Okay. So I think it's like finding a phone number through yahoo.com.
Yahoo.
Yahoo.com.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not quite as superior
Oh,
as,
no.
as Google is where it's at, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be everybody's go-to. But I think Yahoo's successful, a successful company.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not as successful as Google. I think this is a successful idea.
Yeah.
Do I think it's not the air conditioner? We've talked about that. I don't even know if it's vanity plates,
Yeah.
which is a really cool idea because it's such a visual thing. But I think it's a good idea. I think it's Yahoo
Yeah.
or Bing
Bing.
or Ask Jeeves.
Or DuckDuckGo. Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
That would be out of date.
That would be like the phone book,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves, but
Cool.
yeah, no, I thought it was a really good idea. though.
Basically, what you're saying is sometimes you'll get the right answer and sometimes you won't. When
Exactly.
you call that number, sometimes you're going to get the person you want and sometimes you won't.
And sometimes you won't, but at the end of the day, you go, this is better.
Yeah.
This is better than the way it was.
Yeah.
So you've made life a little better.
Cool. That's
Great.
all I can ask for.
Cool idea.
Thanks.